creative friends, it's Gwen and I'm back today with another scrapbooking process video. For today's share, I thought it would be fun to challenge myself. I'm going to be creating a masculine page for this layout. This is a photo of my husband and I'm using this cut file from Cut to You. It is called Stepped Cubes. Now I do have a plan. I've got this pattern paper here which is a selection of different prints that are ideal for pocket pages, or they're kind of made for that. I'm going to use them as paper scraps and I'm going to create a mix of the pattern papers on my cut file here. These kinds of cut files are really great for using up your scraps, and they don't take very long to back because all of the shapes are essentially squares or rectangles. So I have left a little bit of this footage in so that you can see the process. I'm just going through the patterns that I have, mixing and matching. They look random. They kind of are, but I'm very conscious about not repeating two of the patterns too close to each other. I want to make sure that I have a really good mix of the colors that I'm using and that they're sort of spread out in the cut file. I don't actually do a lot of scrapbooking of boys, just in general. I find that I'm far more drawn to the pretty florals, and I will just naturally tend to document my daughter more than my husband, which is bad. I really need to make more of an effort to get the photos of him scrapbooked. It's funny, he's a photographer, so I think that's part of the problem. He is often the one taking the photos and he's not always in the photos. So I do need to make sure that I'm grabbing the camera, turning it around and taking photos of him. You can see here the cut file is coming together. You can see the balance of the colors. So yes, the patterns are random, but the colors are balanced across the design. This collection is from Cocoa Vanilla Studio. It's a bit of a mix. I don't have very many masculine supplies in my stash. I think they are entirely Cocoa Vanilla Studio, all of them. So this is Boys Rule mainly, and then a couple of, I think a few supplies of Legendary as well. For someone who struggles with masculine layouts, I do find it easier to work with collections that are very primary colored based. So blues, greens, and reds. And I just find this particular manufacturer has really solid boys collections. They're not too grungy. I'm not a big fan of grungy boy pages, but I do really like the bold colors. So here is the plan for the page. My photo is going to go on the right because I prefer the subjects in my photos to be looking towards the center of the layout. So I just felt that it flowed better with him on the right. I did run into a problem though. I really wanted to include like a bold title, and I did try to work with this one here that says The Best. This collection does come with lots of bold titles, but I just felt like it became really heavy. So I took a step back and I started to have a think about the flow of the page and how I wanted the eye to travel around it. I want to make sure that the embellishments that I add are supporting the flow of the page that's already here. So I decided that the title was too heavy and that I would actually keep the embellishments pretty simple. I'm going to create 3 flowing clusters. One will be above the photo, one will be slightly to the left of the photo, and then the third one will be below the photo, and they will actually make up a visual triangle. It's at this point that I'm looking at the layout and how it's all coming together, and it's feeling a little bit disconnected for me. It's feeling like there are 3 static embellishment clusters and that they're not flowing together in the way that I would like them to. So to combat that problem, I did find these wood veneer arrows. So I'm going to use them to help pull the page together, and I'm going to repeat the arrow shape in 3 separate places around the layout. I'm going to go with 2 towards the top of the page and then 1 more down the bottom centered on the layout there, which you can see placed. So like so. And can you see how the layout is more flowy now? There's not 3 static areas of embellishments. The embellishments are more flowing across the page. The colour of the wood veneer is really good here as well, and I do combine that with that little banner piece with the star on it in the top left hand corner of the photo. I feel like that helps sort of draw the eye from the top of the layout down towards the photo. I then at this point, I was fussing with these green and blue banner sentiment pieces above the photo there. I just wasn't sure. I was trying to pull in some more green from the photo. There is green in the background there, but it just felt like too much. So I do switch that out for some more black and white elements up there. And that does start a little bit of an embellishment shuffle. I do audition quite a few things. I'm trying to get the balance of the black in the layout and in the photo. I'm trying not to make it too heavy because that was part of the problem way back at the beginning with the title. The title was too black and too heavy. So I am very conscious of all of that. I do decide on the black word, that's a chipboard piece that says boom. I decide to keep the little banner piece at the bottom there that says best ever. And I feel like that's a really nice balance. Things are getting serious because I am gluing stuff down. It's coming together. If you would like to see more masculine layouts, I will leave a link to a couple more videos here for you to check out. I do go ahead off camera and add some black enamel dots, and they really help balance out the darkness in the photo as well. So be sure to check those in the close-up images. And that's going to call the layout done. If you like the way that I scrapbook or the way that I chat about the way that I scrapbook, I would love it if you give this video a thumbs up. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next video. Until then, bye!